Okay. Time to get back to it and finish up Psychonauts 2. You know, just gonna dive on into it and get going. I know I could screw around more, but I really probably should have started sooner, but I got tied up in my own things. So we're just gonna go and yeah, get back into it. I'm gonna have to get through 2 loading screens anyway. So I gotta get through this one, first one, and then we're going back into Cassiopeia's mind. Oh, already back here. Huh, okay. Well, that works. I would have thought I had to do another one, but just kicks me right back in. That works.
Yep. Hey, can you help me find these books?
I'm her favorite assistant and best assistant, and I already looked, so give it up.
Yep. Slant bound. Projection. Yep. Go do your thing.
I'm going to stand over here, right, X? Here I go!
Come on. There you go. There you go. Now you're getting to
Sure. You just take it easy, big guy.
Hey, are you William Shakespeare?
Forsooth, etc.
Oh, wow. You really talk that way.
No, I just like to give the fans what they want. Huzzah.
Hey, are you...
Forsooth, etc.
Oh,
No, I just like to give the fans what they want. Huzzah.
Yeah.
do you know any spells that help find books?
Of course.
Will you use your spells to help find some runaway books?
No. Sorry. I am no friend of the dark power that emanates from the librarian's desk.
Please help me. I promise. I'm tricking the librarian, not helping her.
Many ally themselves with evil when it is convenient, thinking they can swerve back to the righteous path before it's too late.
That's not what I'm doing. Is it? Please help me. I promise.
Many...
That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is it? Hi, I'm Raz.
And I am the Fisher King, last guardian of the Holy Grail.
Really? Then where's the Grail?
Currently in the dishwasher.
The dishwasher?
Top shelf boy. Gentle cycle, don't worry.
Hi, I'm Raz.
And
Really?
current top shelf boy. Gentle cycle, don't worry.
Lots of great literary references and whatnot here. It's fun. Mine. Yeah, that'll help, especially since I still have the glass cannon on. You don't really see me taking it off right now.
Hey, it's not raining here.
Oh, this is just a fashion piece. It distracts people from my nose.
I mean, it certainly does.
Very scary.
Oh, you think so? Why, thank you. That really makes my day.
Very scary.
That really makes my day.
Okay. I forget if there's... Whoa. Ow. Okay. Worst down. That's fine. Maybe I should have gone up this way. Or is this the way I was supposed to? You know, it's very hard to tell sometimes.
Arr!
Please. Pirates don't really talk that way.
Oh, sorry,
They talk like this. Arr!
Arr!
No, like this. Arr!
Yep. Had a bit of a scare there. We're good. We're good. Okay. What do you have to say?
Excuse me, Ms. Witch, but can I borrow your magic wand?
Sorry, Sonny. I'm just roasting a marshmallow here.
Excuse me, Ms. Witch, but can I borrow...
Anyway, into the next book.
Well, this one looks easy. Uh-oh. I think I just jinxed it.
Huh?
Yep.
Apparently there's some dodge roll thing you can do that, oops. Yeah, that, really helps in, you know, these kind of sections, but I don't know the, cadence for it. There we go, got that, almost fell in. Now this has to be not fun when you're colorblind. At least certain colorblind. I don't know if they ever tested that. Oh, there we go. Grab that. And this.
She works in here, but be careful. This is the shop of Fanny Flats, the famous counterfeiter.
Cassie works for a counterfeiter?
I work for myself, but I do what I need to survive. After our parents dumped us here, we needed an archetype that was a little more thick-skinned.
Cassie, we've come to bust you out.
Did someone say bust? What was that? Huh?
Shh! Never say bust in here too loudly. But it's true. We have a plan. Oh, hey, Teach. Listen, now's not a really good time. Flats has a big deal coming up, and she's really on edge. And I'm working on my ticket out of here.
Can we help?
Listen, don't tell anyone, but the cops are closing in on this place. The boss's days are numbered. I cut an immunity deal for myself. I just need to get them some evidence they can use against the big gal. But she's watching everybody like a hawk these days, and I can't get away.
We'll do it. I'll get the evidence you need, and we'll briskly walk out of here together. Okay?
Deal. But remember, never double-cross a double-crosser.
Okay, and now into the last big section of this.
Okay, I need 3 pieces of evidence. Better split up.
3.
Wait, who am I talking to?
Yeah, okay.
What's that sound? This guy needs a duffel bag tag.
Yeah. You know, I don't know why I'm screwing around and going after this stuff. All of my powers are basically leveled up to where I want them to be. And I'm not getting 100% stuff. Sorry, there's a cat meowing. Oh. You. Why not? Let's see what you gotta say.
Hi, kitty.
Meow. Don't eat the fish. It's full of mercury. Meow.
Okay. So.
Oh. Yep.
Oh, okay. I got too close and yeah, just jumped into that. There we go. Okay, made it.
Okay. Time to gather evidence.
We'll just go over that and... yeah, I could've just sent an archetype through and then I just said no. Oh! Oh, hey, I got one of the fish. Those are actually a little tricky. Yeah. They, some of these figments like to hide in this, water slash... I don't know, oil maybe, but, it can be a little hard to find. I'm just bouncing over there, even if I'm never gonna use it. Okay. There we go. Figments. Get on with it.
Yep.
And you. Okay. Grab that. Got one more of the evidence, and then I can get out of here.
Now this looks fishy. Better take it as evidence. I think that's the best evidence I'll find in this part of town. I should check out the other neighborhoods for more.
Yep.
I'll take this.
Eat quill. Rate of wisdom. Okay, so...
This carving is beautiful.
Why, thank you.
We would have done more, but we got full.
Hi, Worms.
Yo!
Do either of you know which way the fish cannery is?
Yes, over there.
We take you there, but the smell is out of control.
Which way to the print shop?
Oh, you do not want to go over there.
They're counterfeiters.
Shh. How can I get to the market?
That's way over there.
Don't bother. Prices are nuts.
What do you know about Fanny Flats?
She runs this town with her fake money business.
But she doesn't control us bookworms.
Every time she tries to cut us down, we just multiply.
Do you have any evidence that incriminates Fanny Flats?
Oh yeah, we just uncovered a big juicy piece of evidence this morning.
Can I have it?
We ate it? What did you expect?
Okay, bye. If you see any juicy evidence, please don't eat it.
Okay.
Wow, this carving is beautiful.
Why, thank you.
We would have done more, but we got full.
Okay. I'm sure I could fly off something if I really wanted to. I'm gonna give the power abilities for it.
I think I hear some emotional baggage nearby.
Oh, we have the tag. Might as well. Okay. Let's mental connection and see where this goes. This is not... I guess that's what happens when I experience the skill if I fall. Not super useful. I will need the projection back though.
Oh, not this again!
It'll catch up. Yeah, this jumping section's a little rough. So. Well, it makes a lot of things. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of catching things and writing appropriately. So. Probably one of the more difficult ones in the game. Now, I don't think I need to fight these guys, and so I'm not going to. Yep, does not block the door. So. Come on, let me kick off the wall. There we go. Sometimes wall kicks are not 100%. Yeah, they're not 100% reliable. Oh, I think it's, yeah. You can't upgrade. Yeah, it has to do with your the fast moving with dodge is just pretty much you have to melee cancel out of it when you don't have the melee cancel. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. There we go. When I use this eye, I
This
bust
looks
it
like
to me.
evidence of something.
Makes it easy to just... kind of chain dodges, because otherwise I don't think you can. But it's basically you're dodging out of an attack. Yeah, see, there's that stop. And you're dodging
Just
out
one
of
more
an
piece of
attack.
evidence to find.
So, okay. Yeah, now we're just skipping a lot. There's conversations there, and a lot of it is how overpriced it is. But I don't want to do that fight, so I'm not going to. Yep, here we go. I'm probably going to be stuck in battle music for a while. Up and over. Well, not. Oh, come on. There we go. On this. Alright, let's just... Can I get around? Yeah, there we go. This is where I need to be.
Is that the best you got?
Bunch of counterfeit stuff. And still force the bees. There, yeah, right away. So many bee pigments. So. Yeah, that is the other thing that kind of makes projection a little screwy. Is it looks like a figment when it's flying around.
Get a load of these weirdos.
Wanted that hell? Get out of here. And again, not held into the combat, so I can just do it this way. That's more Latin and I guess math. Quintata apis contata vespa. Something about. I guess it's 5 Bs or something? I don't know. It's, again, my Latin is a bit rusty. And some of this might just be new and I'm able to learn.
Now this looks incriminating. I think that's all the evidence Cassie needs.
Yep. That should be my evidence, and that should be the end of this.
I got all the evidence I need. Better bring it back to Cassie quick.
Now, see, enablers being enablers. Like, there's really nothing for us to combat. Ow! Okay. Whatever. We're out. I'm also avoiding some of the kind of trippy sections of this. Because there's this one area where just like a door takes you to basically there. Like just this archway. And it kind of is like, wait, how did I get here? Mentally kind of confusing. But again, I'm going briskly at this point because, yeah. Yeah, kinda wanna finish things.
That's all the evidence we could get. Think it's enough?
Let me be the judge of that. Oh, yeah. This is some hot dirt right here. We'll be able to blackmail her with this for years.
Blackmail? I thought you were going to arrest her.
What? How's she gonna make the money she needs to pay us from jail?
But if she's not locked up and she finds out I was the one who sent her up the river...
Hey, don't worry. We'll, protect you or something.
Let's beat it. This was a bust.
What? Bust? No! It's a bust! Ah!
Ew. Not a chapter of which I am particularly proud.
Hey, she was forced into the outlaw life.
Not that part. I just meant... nobody likes a snitch. There you are, all safe and sound again. Thank you, young man. You were a little loud for my liking, but you got the job done.
And now you'll help me with those bees?
Oh, are you scared of bees? Well, I know of one place where you'll feel completely safe.
Hey! Put me down! Of all the double-crossing...
This was all part of the plan.
It was?
Yup. And I thought I was the tricky one. Oh my, we've come to a bad place. No, it's perfect. How is it perfect? Any place is perfect when we're all together. Well, I haven't seen you in a while. We should never have let her split us up. When we're together, nothing is impossible.
Well, that tears it. I hate to damage a book, of course. But that last line was too corny, even for a motivational speaker.
We're not going to let you control us anymore.
Oh, and which one of you thinks you should be in charge? None of you could stop Maligula. None of you could protect your friends. I am the real Cassiopeia. And I'll show you how we fight off a foreign invader. Get ready for the shushing of your life!
The librarian. Okay.
I'm doing the right. Which one of you is the smart one?
Yeah, I have glass cannon on, so I can just kind of hose her.
Oh, Raz! Get that gate open so I can work on her from the inside.
Yeah, easy enough. Did it?
It's you! I
Get
would
that
not
gate
go
open.
in there if I were you.
Yeah, I guess it just killed my figment, my archetype for some reason.
That's my cue. Let me in there. I'll see if I can write a better ending to this story.
There we go.
What's going on? Who's in here?
Hello, Cassie.
You? The self-righteous little writer? What are you doing in here?
We writers are most effective when we get inside someone's head.
Oh,
not this again!
What we need here is a little positivity. Ow! I'd like to borrow some words from Mindswarm if I may. Used properly, every cell of your brain would be as busy as a worker bee. Sorry, but I'm sick. Now, what did that poor little thing ever do to you?
Check out the enabler. Come on, come on. There we go.
To take a quick break. Make some tea.
My turn, Raz. Get that gate open. open so I can teach her a lesson.
Did it kill my archetype again?
Is that a penny over there?
If I can keep the pen, I should be able to just nuke the last phase, because that does a lot of
Class
damage.
is in session.
I'm not asleep, you're asleep.
When my students fall asleep in class, they get sent to the principal's office.
Oh no, not you.
That's right. Now it's 2-on-1.
Hey, don't forget to count me.
Okay, you. Give me your honest opinion on how I'm doing so far. Okay. We got him on the run.
Just one shot.
Get that gate open, kid, and I'll bust this whole crooked operation.
Yep.
Ah! Let me out! I got this!
Gate open.
There we go.
Okay, time for the money maker.
Oh no. No, no, no. Something's not right.
In fact, you could say something stinks.
You! Oh no. I can't handle all three of you at once?
That's kind of the point. Ready, gals? I'm ready. Together now! I can't believe I failed. Again! I guess I'm not the real Cassie. Yes, you are. And so am I. Me too. Mostly when we need money. Hey, I'm pretty good in a fight. You might have noticed.
Hi. Are you the real Cassie?
Not sure. But I'm sure she's in here somewhere. Now then, did you say something about my bees?
So yeah, that's a fascinating brain on the whole, like, oh yeah, different aspects of people, all that, you know, bring them all together. It's very, like I said, I like a lot of just like how this game is just like, yeah, different mental issues and how it looks at them. And again, yeah, it's generally taken in a light and comedic tone, but it still it still confronts the issues. And I think that's one of the reasons I kind of enjoy this. And it's a lot more of a heads-on approach than Psychonauts 1 was.
Oh my. They really aren't behaving, are they? That's it. I'm all out of bee puns, I promise.
Think you can do something about them?
I'll try, but I feel like I've lost a little control of them. Oh, how I wish my old partner were here.
I think they just need a nap.
Oh, Bully! How did you know I needed you?
A little bird told me. Oh, sorry, I should say 3 little bees.
Well then, think we can get this swarm to stand down?
I do. Bedtime for bees. So, how's production?
jars of honey and no one to give it to. Come on.
Yep. Now we have to do astrolabe, and then I think there's one other thing left. Yeah, there's two things after that. So I'm gonna poke around just a little bit, and then we'll dive right into it. I think it's. Okay. Should grab that, I guess. Ow! Too close.
You two excited to fire up the astrolabe?
If you can get that old hunk of junk running again.
We'll be there.
You two excited to fire?
We'll be there.
Okay. Anything you guys want to say, or just gonna hang out? I guess they're just hanging out. Well. Let's go check on the other two, and then I guess I should fire up the astrolabe.
How are you feeling?
I feel so much better.
I love being in a body again so much. Every sight, every sound, everything.
Nothing new here. Okay. Oh, that stickiness. I could go back and talk to Ford, but if not.
Okay, I have a feeling I'm about to get into some heavy business. Am I sure I'm ready for this?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm ready for whatever might happen.
Took you long enough.
It still works.
Of course it still works. Otto over-engineers everything.
Cruller, I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said about me.
Otto, you're looking well fed.
Ford, you sound like your old self.
Well, some things are clear to me now that weren't before. But come on, there's a lot to be done.
Ford, is it really you?
Cassie, Compton.
And Bob. I'm happy to see all of you again.
What's Nick from the mailroom doing here?
That's actually Helmet Fullbear's brain in Nick's body.
I do love making a grand entrance.
Sounds like Fullbear.
He's in there, all right. But where have you been?
You don't want to know that.
I've missed you so much, Big Bear.
I never thought I'd see everybody together again.
Well, almost everybody.
Hey, I remember this place. We used to sneak in here and fool around on the beanbags, remember?
Lucy.
Everybody ready? Now, this hunk of junk was made by Auto Mentalis. So, there's no telling what might happen.
Oh, what can I say? I was underfunded back then.
But if everything goes well, we might be able to have our dear friend Lucretia back in the circle. For good. Now, you ready?
Kind of.
Me too, kid.
And here we go. So. Yep. Game's already given the point of no return prompt, so. Diving into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to present to you the high-flying, death-defying, ironically named Aquato Family Circus. Augustus, Donatella, Dion, Frazee, Rasputin, Murtala, and little baby Queepy. And the most important member of the family, one who's been here the whole time. Nona Aquato, right where she belongs, in the heart of her family.
What is this?
It's a mental construct I made for Lucy to convince her that she was your grandmother and that she lived with you. Come on, it's time to get her out of here.
Okay.
Ew.
What did you step in?
I don't know. It looks like a puddle of goo. With a mask of me in it.
Has anyone seen my brother? He was just standing here a second ago.
Here he is.
Oh, well, come on, Raz. It's showtime.
You better play along with this, Raz. We don't want to upset the construct until we have control of the situation. I'll work on Nona.
Yep. Okay.
Can't Dion do this one?
In my sleep?
It's a better show if you do it, Rasputin, because the audience isn't sure if you'll make it.
I gotta do different performances of color from around here.
You're doing it wrong.
Yes!
That's my boy. Finally.
Well, that's something I don't need to worry about anymore.
Done. What's the next one? Is it over here? Oh, probably. Get up there. Okay. Oh, memory vault. Might as well.
Right up to the wheel of endangerment, and behold the daring father-daughter team of Frazee and Augustus Aquato. One will live, one will
All
die.
of the protesters.
Maybe. Who knows?
We should be
Only
going
one
to
way
deal
to
with
find
them,
out.
then flooding them out, which is not deterring them. Gets violent, and yeah, ends up going too far, accidentally killing her sister and brother-in-law, I think. And yeah, kind of makes her go a little unhinged. Terrible things happen. Terrible things. Yeah.
Round and round the wheel goes. Will Frazee...
Hey, Fleetford, how goes the show?
Well, There's a little holdup with our knife-throwing extravaganza, but I'm sure they'll get it sorted out soon. You missed the balancing ball act. Besides being handsome, that Dion is as sure-footed as a mountain goat. There's gonna be some amazing feats of strength soon as Queepy starts playing on that merry-go-round. Still plenty of show to enjoy.
So those are the things I usually do. Okay, so let's get to it then.
See the strongest boy on earth, Queepy Aquato, as he lifts weights that are, frankly, quite alarming.
There we go.
Big girl and go nice.
Popcorn.
I just don't. You kill Dad, and I'll tell Mom.
Come on now, the fans are waiting. Kill Dad, you got this right here.
And last hit. There we go.
You did it, my boy. You're my favorite son now.
Wait, what was that?
Wow. Flea Dad tells it like it is.
Okay, my turn to throw knives at Dad.
Not the most functional family. But at least they're all alive.
Okay. Now we just gotta head over to the other side. That'll wrap this up.
Come join our youngest performer, Queepy Aquato, in front of the carousel of chaos. Watch him lift a horse and your spirit.
I need time, but well, I don't need it, but but it's very hard to do without. So slow it down. Keep slowing down. There's the button. Here we go.
Aw, the ride's over. Let's do it again. Time for my amazing true strength.
Oh, phew. The children are safe. Good job, Rasputin. Okay, all the children are safe. No, I will show you my little secret. Come with me to the high dive.
Okay. Well, I might as well get. I think that is a. Yeah, this is a. What is it called? Yeah, nugget. Yeah, knowledge, all that stuff. Ah! Crap. Okay.
So what's the secret?
It's at the top of the ladder.
No, we haven't had a high dive in the Aquato family circus for years. You know, the curse?
You know, the more I think about that curse, the more I think it's a lot of Gravosknuk.
Mm-hmm. That might be a little concerning, considering how you've been the most adamant about the curse, but whatever. We're getting closer. With good reason, too. But, again, we'll get there.
Nona! What are you doing?
Getting out of here, and you're coming with me.
Nona! Oh, no.
Yep.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Ford, our circus didn't have a quilting area.
I didn't make this. I created that two-bit flea circus to make Lucy forget who she was. But it looks like she escaped.
Come on, Crowley Stinky Dam is over this way.
What? Wow. Guess you learn a thing or two when you live with fleas.
Well, let's just get through all this.
What's this?
That's Lucy and your father. Oh, this must be one of the first real memories she formed after the astrolabe procedure. Your father was put into an orphanage after his parents were drowned. I locked Maligula away, deep in Lucy's mind, to make Lucy herself again. But then I got your father out of that orphanage, buried some of his more, traumatic memories, and brought him to her.
Why?
Well, they were both all alone in the world. The only family the other had left.
My sweet little Gussie. Let's keep moving.
Wait!
Lots more exposition. A lot of this is, again, speaking to the mind is a powerful thing and how it kind of deals with things. Anyway, keep going.
This would be a sweet picture if I didn't know everybody was under some sort of astrolabe hypnosis.
I never used the astrolabe on the rest of the family. These are real memories Lucy made for herself after I was gone from her life.
Good family, excellent balance, very flexible. Not afraid of heights, not like you. Hey, Crowley.
Lucy, please!
Okay. Yeah, this takes a little bit longer to get through when you're picking everything up and hitting stuff everywhere.
Luna, you were the one who gave me the pamphlet to Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp? You're the reason I became a psychonaut?
Well, it is even you are crazy, but you were such a nerd with those comic books.
Hey, True Psychic Tales is a graphic non-fiction periodical.
Some part of you knew you were living a lie. You sensed Raz's power. You thought he could help you.
Oh, I don't know, Crowley. I get so confused sometimes. Usually I was happy, just sawing dance and stretching the children, telling them to stay away from the water. Then I'd feel, so sad. And just when I was about to figure it out, everything would start to unravel. I forgot how much I hate this place.
This is it. This is where I locked up Maligula. Behind that dam. We need to unlock it and draw Maligula out into the open. Then we'll combine our powers and direct the astrolabe to blast open a pit into the deepest part of her mind.
Why don't we just, blast Maligula?
Maligula is a part of Lucy's mind. A primitive part that may have helped her early ancestors survive. We all have our own Maligula, Rasputin. We just know how to keep it locked up down below. If you can secure the area while I keep Lucy calm, then we should be able to unlock this dam together.
Yeah, part of me would be thinking, this is not a great plan.
I don't like this place.
Raz, I need to stay here with Lucy. Once you reveal the lock, we'll blast it.
Okay, need to deal with that. First, where are you? But I also need to deal with these goats, so... Come on. There you go.
The thought to inside the mind. surrounded by so many straight.
Not a great place health-wise because of... Yeah. There we go. Well, pushed into the water, but I guess it didn't matter. Yep, there we go.
Time for justice!
No, I wanted pyrokinesis back on that.
Let us adjourn.
Oh, yeah. Come on. There we go. Got rid of that bad idea. I need to get all the health out of it. Gotta be some more enemies around that I'm not seeing.
This is a sad place.
Ah, yep, there's a bad idea. Got it. Another wave of things now. That mode. Which means I now need to put on clairvoyance. But for now, I can just keep pestering it
I
away.
need to know what's causing that loop before I can get rid of it.
There we go. Ah! Come on.
I think I need to figure out what's causing it.
Where is it? It's up here. And we're done.
Just hold on for me.
I think there's... Yeah. That rest to save. Right.
Great job, Raz. Now, open that locket. We'll use the astrolabe to blast it.
I think I hear something.
Bunch of mental baggage here, which I didn't grab any of the tags, so not dealing with it. Okay. Gonna let you do it that way. Just do that. Let's get this going.
It's a locket.
It's my sister, Marana. But...
Help me focus the astrolabe, Rasputin. Quickly!
Made a mistake.
I think we made many mistakes. But now, we're gonna face them. I couldn't before. I was young, scared, and alone. But now, I'm only one of those things. Oh, we've grown. Let's hope the astrolabe can make a deep enough pit.
Don't worry, Ford. I'll be right here beside you.
That's not... Yeah. Yeah. Where would we be if everything went according to plan? And this did not seem like a good plan. Still, you know, not very subtle with the whole, everything being locked kind of behind a dam. Still, getting to the end. Gonna have a little bit more work to do. Yeah. Yep. Just a bit more to get through. I think I'm making good time.
Gott im Himmel.
Jackpot. Bullseye.
I felt her. Maligula.
I know the identity of the mole.
That's incredible, Sasha.
Well, I had mechanical assistance, which you didn't need.
Agents, we have a security breach in the Green Needle Gulch.
She's here.
Yep. Everyone's now all kind of caught up on things that have been going down. Yeah, stuff's getting weird. And this is one of those... Well, this is a weird loading screen. Looking at a platypus on a starry sky. Just doesn't seem too related to anything, but yeah, it's here.
It's okay. You're safe.
What happened? We were...
You were obviously in distress, so I pulled you out. Is that... her?
I told you he was up to something out here with his girlfriend. Maligula.
That's not his girlfriend, you little snitch. I'm his girlfriend.
My God!
Oh yeah, funny story. That's not really Nick from the mailroom.
I know that, but why? Doesn't matter. I'll take it with me when I take her.
Yeah, so, you know, something weird's going on. As usual. But how they got through all the psychic defenses and whatnot is another question.
Can I have my clothes back yet?
We're not
Kid,
doing.
you got a long way to go. Better get moving.
Lily! Raz! Listen, I've been following my dad for a while, and he's acting really weird.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
How?
Let's get Sasha and Mia to help.
But my dad might be gone by the time we get back.
I need to see what's going on inside his mind. I need to go into the Grand Head.
You're right. We do.
Wait, what?
You're not going to make me do this alone, are you?
You know, it's kind of interesting that most of the time Raz has just been using his own door, and this is the first time you really use someone else's in this game. Not that it really matters at all. Just an interesting point.
Wow.
Jeez, get over yourself, Dad. What the heck?
Right. Let's split up and compare notes in a bit.
What the?
Here are his outfits. That's pretty normal.
In his mind? Have you ever seen my father? He never thought about his clothes.
Yep.
Weird.
Maybe your dad was considering a change of beard?
Never! Not my dad.
Well, at least you know he thought about his family.
Yeah, but what's with all the lines showing how we're all related?
Maybe he was getting more forgetful?
But... Huh?
It's almost like he comes here to practice being himself.
Rasputin, I gotta tell you, I don't like it.
I guess he's really proud of his diplomas.
Then why doesn't he hang them up in his office?
He's secretly proud?
Why would he?
Well, let's grab these last pigments and then convert Lily, and then I guess we'll get on with it.
Lily, take it from me. All dads are weird.
I just don't know what's wrong with him.
Oh,
This
maybe.
is just...
Grab that and these pigments. And, yeah.
I don't really think of your dad as a vain man.
He's not! I'm telling you, something's not right in this stupid place!
Hey,
Whoa.
this statue.
Careful, Raz. That's still my dad.
Yeah, well. Let's keep. So is that all I need to do? Or?
Strange.
Nope, more I need to break.
I think there's something under here.
Yeah, more plaster.
Whoa, Lily. Your dad was a really big fan of Nick from the mailroom.
Well, most people are. Except my dad. My dad once told me he thought Nick John Smith was an obsequious little lick-spittle.
Lick-spittle?
That's how my dad talked. My real dad. Raz, this isn't my dad's mine.
Lily!
Hey, you kids! Get off that carpet. VIPs only.
If it's not your dad's mind, whose mind is it?
His.
Nick's brain is missing, but, I mean, Nick?
Make way, common folk. Make room for Zazarovich Crystal Malik, future Tsar of Grilovia.
Nick is the Zazarovich?
I can't believe it. What's a Zazarovich?
The missing heir to the throne of Grilovia. He lived in exile with his family after Maligula destroyed the capital. Why is his brain in your dad's body?
And where is my father's real brain? Come on, let's make him talk. Come on, he's getting away. Official business.
Sorry.
Get behind me, punk.
Move aside.
Help! This person's cutting in line.
Excuse me. He's also wearing an outfit.
Zazarovich.
Or, you know, he's wearing an outfit of Malik. So, kind of goes to show, yeah, Malik's got a bit of an ego.
Hi, can we get on the ride, please?
Did you two cut in line?
We're VIPs.
Oh, does that stand for vertically impaired preteens?
Oh, come on! This is an emergency!
It's for your own safety. Come back when you're older.
Easy solution here.
Okay, we're older. Check us now.
Oh man, how long have I had this job? I gotta get out of here. Sorry, Grilovians only.
What? You can't.
It's okay, Raz. Go.
But Lily.
Don't worry. I have a plan. Now...
Hey!
Follow that czar!
Now we have a bit more of a lore dump.
nation be more prosperous, its people more content.
Yep. It's a small world.
Never was a royal family more beloved than the Maliks, Tsar Theodore, Tsarina Rokal, and the young Zazarovich Crystal. The nation looked forward to the happy day when Crystal Malik would legally and rightfully inherit his father's throne, but alas, that was not meant to be. The Tsar's Minister of War and Protector of the People, General Maligula, had aroused the jealousy of the warmongering Ford Cruller.
What the?
He led his mob of Psychonauts to gang up on Maligula, drowning the brave warrior.
Just when I thought I'd heard every version of this story.
And drowning much of Grulovia in the process. Why didn't the Tsar help Maligula in her time of need? No one knows, but historians agree it is Tsar Theodore's biggest failure. In the end, Grulovia, the Maliks, and Maligula were betrayed by the weakness of the Tsar and the bloodlust of the Psychonauts.
That is some messed up junk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching you on the control panel here. Why'd you stop?
This door won't open. What happened to the ride operator?
He, had an accident.
Looks like there's an electrical problem up above the ride.
Okay, I'll drain the water so you can get up there. If you can fix it, I should be able to get the ride going again from here.
Check.
Okay. Now, again, this is all very intuitive. Malik has a very warped version of events. Not realizing, of course, that Maligula kind of has gone completely out of control. And was responsible for pretty much everything happening to the Grulovian people, so... Yeah, things got misguided, there's lots of problems, it's, yeah. Which Bristol never quite learned or realized, but, you know, we're gonna get into it.
Huh. This is not how I heard this story. Then again, I'm not sure who to trust anymore. Hey, Ford, think you can help me up into those rafters?
Still, again, Raz has gone through a lot at this point. And I heard a lot of the story, and, yeah. Yeah. Let's get here, and, yeah. Again, you gotta love how, you know, the older Ford Cruller as opposed to what he most likely have looked like during that time. Yeah.
Catch me, angels!
It is what it is. This is Bristol, and he's only seen these things. I don't remember all of it, I guess. He's seen it only some ways. Am I hurt at all? No, I'm full health. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me. You're absolutely kidding me.
Yep.
Let's see if I can, let's cheese it, if we can. Okay, so I think, yeah, from here I should be able to... Ah! No, I need to get a little bit more height. Because it just kind of kicked me off, and I can't really do anything when it just forced me around like that. Might have been my fault. I won't deny it, but, yeah. Got it. So, yeah, I could have skipped that whole section over there.
Okay, did that fix the problem?
Looks good, Raz. Get back on the ride and start it up. Aha! I think I finally found the right button. Here we go. It's not ready.
Yeah, I guess it's just a bunch of stickers. Again, love that they do dress up a bit for where they are. This isn't awesome, but a lot. I think there's a certain amount I need to kill.
How do you know for sure?
But just, you know, again, throw things at things and fire lasers. I probably could have done with the bouncer and just pushed him into the water, but at the same time, I don't care. He'll find me.
Okay, sorry. This one for sure.
Stop pressing buttons!
I sentence you to death!
Sorry, but I just...
Okay, come on. I gotta deal with these doubts because it's a huge problem. There we go. How did you not die? You were set on fire. Yeah.
No, wait! Now?
Will you just get back on the dump ride?
Anyway. So, there is an achievement for destroying every single point of the machines playing the music. And, yeah. You basically have to find the doors in each section to do that. I'm not going to, because again, I already done it. Don't need to. Might as well just keep it
Get
going.
me out of Garovia.
Hang on.
Maligula was mourned. If only the Tsar had supported her more, not turned his back on her in her time of need. Maybe then his family would not have been forced into exile.
No.
forced to wander the earth with no country, across the frozen Arctic, the burning desert, the endless ocean.
They lived in the ocean?
On his deathbed, Tsar Theodore gave young Bristol, who had suffered so much, a small ray of hope. He told him that Maligula, protector of Grulovia, was still alive.
And she's my
If she
fake
were
grandma!
alive, why had no one heard from her? Surely Ford Crawler and his psycho spies must have her captive. Crystal Malik bravely decided then and there to find her, to undo his father's mistake, and to restore Maligula, the Maliks, and all of Grulovia to power again.
Hey! Are you stuck again? Is something malfunctioning on your end?
Sorry, closed for maintenance. And for the glory of Grulovia, or whatever.
What's the holdup?
Hang on. I gotta talk to a guy about a door. Excuse me, but this door over here?
Sorry, busy.
Busy with what?
Propagandaneering. I'm creating a future chapter in this glorious semi-interactive location-based epic. This treasure room tells the story of how once the Zazarovich finds Maligula and restores Grulovia to its former glory, the people will all share in unimaginable riches. But it's missing something. Not sure what.
Like something to go in that big egg cup in the middle?
Yeah, something there.
Like maybe an egg?
That's it! See, sometimes you just need a fresh set of eyes. Hey, you get me a big, beautiful, luxurious egg, and I'll use my pass to open that door for you.
Deal! Hey, where do they keep the big eggs around here?
Crystal told me the best eggs he ever found were out in the ocean, whatever that means.
Yep. Gotta go get something else. Still, it's...
I think I hear something.
one of those, like, things where it's just like... why would you tell Crystal that? You know, that Caligula's still alive and all that. So, I don't know. Very much we've reached a weird section on a lot of things.
Yep.
Anyway, I gotta play around with this diorama. So.
Lily, do you see any controls for a giant painted mural with props?
I see something called Grulovian Diasporama. It has buttons for scenery, props, and heroes.
Okay.
Let's change the scenery. Okay. There are buttons for Arctic Exile, Adrift at Sea, and Desert Wasteland.
Show me Adrift at Sea, could you?
I guess.
Yep.
I think I want to change something else now.
We can do that. I
Can we
think I need
alter the props?
Yep. You want cacti, fish, maybe some trees?
I think
I think
cacti.
some cacti would really set the mood.
I guess.
Those trees are ruining it. Get rid of them.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I think what this needs is some fish.
Okay.
See, can I use that? Let's see.
I want to change something else, I think.
Figures.
Okay, that's enough for now. Thanks, Lily.
Bye, Roz.
Okay, so I need to get up in there, and I can't... yeah, I couldn't have gotten up there without moving stuff around. Because, again, I couldn't have gotten that... that needs to be this specific set, so... not... I guess I probably could have done it without the fish, but... this is a very convenient platform.
Hey, I know where I am. This is the Lady Luctopus. The Maliks must have lived at the casino for a while. Suffering in exile. Ah!
Yep.
Lily, There's a room here just like the one we found on the mission to the casino. The delusionist was Crystal.
So that's why Nick had a Loctopus key in his pocket. He was living there.
Yeah, in exile.
Ooh, that means he's the one who wrote the creepy note about me.
He's here, Crystal.
Really?
Wait a second. Huh.
Yep. So. These are not great. I wonder if I still have this equipped, I can, yeah! Figment of him, putting stuff up here. I don't need to go back here. But I can get a nugget of wisdom. Which looks like an egg. Which makes sense, as you'll see. Probably. Maybe. Kinda. But a lot of figments of Crystal doing things. Anyway. Let's talk to the man.
Hey! Why the long face?
My father died today.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Don't be. He ruined my life. And if it weren't for him, I'd be the Tsar of Grulovia. Believe it or not. Instead, I'm homeless.
I don't know. This place looks pretty nice.
Ha! Good one. Hey, kid. There's something about you I like. Are you, by any chance, of Grulovian blood?
Half.
Half-blood will have to do. Come, and let us toast to the fatherland. Hey, want some caviar?
I don't know. I've never had caviar.
That's okay. It's just eggs. Incredibly expensive eggs.
Well, since you put it that way...
You won't regret it. I mean, look at these eggs.
Maybe I'll have just one.
I don't think one is gonna do the trick.
We'll see.
And now we reach the... Yep. Kinda weird mental stuff again. I do enjoy how they do fun stuff with transitions here. Now I just gotta get this to the end of this section and we'll be good to go. So again, lots of pictures of him with Crystal's family. Went a little out of control there. But I'm just gonna use my old Mind Blast to speed up trick here. So it just does some weird stuff with physics. No! Okay, I really need to know when to let it go and not just try and roll through everything, but... Yeah, no, it is what it is. I do know that... Oh, come on! I was holding right and it still just rolled me off, because... Yeah, this is not the easiest thing, because again, it's not an orb. It's an egg. It doesn't roll perfectly, so sometimes you can... And also this course is not level, so it's very much just whatever it's gonna give you, it's gonna give you. So let's see if I can just do... Oh, come on. So, okay, we got a checkpoint, so... I'm gonna try and launch myself to the end of this for a bit. Oh, okay, I'm going too wide, but yeah. Really? thought I'd get through. I thought I would get through with that. Okay. Yeah, I should be hitting the. I should be getting hit with something there. Not what I wanted, but not enough height. Yep, not gonna make it all the way. Right. Whoa! Landed here. That's not the way I wanted to go. Come on. Let's try it again. That's not helping either. There's got to be a more consistent thing. I don't know how I'm doing this. So, whoa! Launching the wrong way. Don't want to go that way. You know what? We'll take that. We'll take it. We'll just go about this normally and just kind of skip past some stuff if we can. We've burned way too much health already. Yeah, that was something. That was something. Hey. We're gonna ride this out and yeah. Okay. So what it wants me to do and what I'm going to do are two very different things. There we go. Got it launched like I wanted earlier, but you know, didn't get the direction on it. Anyway, getting out of here. Releasing that to get down to a more normal speed.
Oh my God! Quick! Roll that over to the treasure room before anyone sees what you did! Oh, my poor Theodore!
Yeah. But Crystal doesn't care much for his father anyway, apparently, so... Anyway.
That's right. Right through here. Perfect. Now please leave before you break anything else.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's grab this nugget of wisdom and then get out of here. Okay. On to the next section. Probably get some help.
Ready to roll.
Getting a bit of lag there, okay. There, he was singing out of tune with the song he created.
Young Crystal Malik embarked on his heroic mission to scour the earth for Maligula, and with her restore glory to Grulovia. He hunted down Ford the Fraud Cruller, but found him to be a broken man, obviously tortured by the misdeeds of his past. Undaunted, Crystal Malik dove straight into the belly of the beast itself, infiltrating the Psychonauts in their filthy lair.
Such a interesting little ride thing. Just I doubt it was that dramatic.
Once insinuated into their organization, the Zarovich quickly rose to power, replacing the very head of the spy ring.
Lily, I found Crystal's memory of stealing your father's brain.
Does he show what he did with it?
No, it's just a weird puppet show now. Hey, wait. I'm in this one.
He found their organization ridiculously easy to manipulate. Some of their most trusted agents were mere children, easily controlled by Puppet Master Malik.
Super creepy. Uh-oh. Whoa! What the? Ah! Ow! Hey, this ride's not safe at all.
And here we get to mental defenses and things. If I'm remembering this correctly. So, gotta grab these healing items and try and open the door. Ow. No, I need... Ow. Come on. Can I get back down? No. No, that's a different bag. Shit. Okay, just gonna have to play this one safe and not. Ow! Okay, that's not great. Freak out. Okay, I am not in great health-wise, but I think that's all. That is all of them. No. Oh no! 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 Okay. Yeah. Blast cannon. It's powerful. It's fast, but it's very dangerous.
I just want to find that cart and get back on the ride again.
Anyway, so let's just do this and get some of my health back. Yeah, okay. So I need both mental connection and time bubbles. So, I think that's the first bit of combat I'm going to need to do, so... For now, so we're going to do this. Just get through. And again, this is another, like, crazy section, just how the physics all works out. That's optional. I'm just not going to go that way yet. Or, no, I'm not going to go that way. So, you figure the timing and whatnot. But, more brain stuff.
Yep.
Dealing with Dr. Lovato.
This must be the moment when Lovato stole Agent Zanato's brain. Creepy. So Crystal Malik was the one who hired you to swap his brain in for Truman's?
I'll never tell.
I'm literally watching you do it right now. Where did you put Truman's brain?
I'll never tell.
Come on!
I'll never tell.
But yeah, so as he said, put an egg in the basket. The old egg in a box, and put the box in the ocean. That is what he said. And there's the pieces to that puzzle.
I'll never tell.
Okay, okay.
Anyway. Moving on. Moving on, sir. Okay.
Here's
Grab
the
this
steamer
tag.
trunk tag.
Which, again, it's just shiny, and I wanted it. So.
Raz, where'd you go?
I found some weird stuff off the ride and...
Raz, we're chasing Crystal Malik, remember? Not having fun at an amusement park.
I'm headed back to the cart now.
Again, lots of weird stuff with perspective. You saw me shrinking so I could go into those cabins. But yeah, there's a lot of basically figments of pretty much all the kids from Psychonauts 1. Pretty amusing. Yeah, bird going around. So there's no reason for me to screw around more, but I think there's some sections around here that I can do things. Especially if I was hunting down if I was hunting down all of the gramophones. Let's grab some health. I don't think I need it, but I'm gonna take it. While I'm thinking on it, let's get my powers back in order.
Get me out of this creepy place.
Okay, it looks like you're catching up with Crystal. Keep a lookout for it.
I'm gonna have to change up my pins later.
So malice hate was true. Our father meant his rise anew. He made a plan and fooled the man who took Caligula. Together they rule. Everything is super cool.
What's happening?
Things are getting a little weird.
Oh, now they're weird.
Weirder. I think we're coming to the finale.
I'm going to try and find a way to meet you at the end. Look for me.
Roger that, Potato Masher.
Potato Masher?
It's a new mission code name I made for you.
I like it. Let's go mash Crystal.
Yep. Getting into the end of it. Such a weird ride. Digging into kind of how delusional Crystal is. Especially in how he thinks Maligula will be loyal to him. Another one of these statues. We'll just smash it.
Weird.
Yep, somehow got pictures of him during each section, including the off sections. Do I need to change any powers again? I don't think I need mental connection for now. I will keep time bubble because it's going to be helpful.
I think I hear some emotional baggage nearby.
So, what did you think?
I think you're a very confused person, and you don't know what you're messing with.
I'm going to restore a whole country to greatness. A country that your heroes, the Psychonauts, tore apart.
Grulovia was never great. It was always a fair to middling country at best.
Please. I was there. You weren't. It was amazing. I had a cotton candy maker in my bedroom.
Where's Truman's brain?
Not my problem.
Your dad was a brutal dictator and a ruthless strongman.
My father's only problem was that he wasn't strong enough. As Tsar, I won't have that problem. Trust me.
The people hated the Maliks.
If that were true, then why did they unanimously re-elect us every election?
Your father used Lucretia Mux to squash non-violent protests.
Maligula rained on a few parades, yes? But that's what cooled them down before they got too violent.
Tsar Theodore made a monster. He pushed a vulnerable young woman to do such horrible things in the name of her country that she snapped. He broke her.
He took a sad country girl and turned her into a mighty warrior. And I'm going to do it again.
Maligula is my grandma.
Oh boy. Now who's confused?
I've had enough of this.
Yes, me too.
Hey, I'm not a puppet. I'll break out of this in 2 minutes and then you'll be sorry.
That's all the time I need to have Truman extricate Maligula from her captors back in the physical world.
No, please don't. She's in a very fragile state right now. Any stress or memories could
awaken the Guardian of Grulovia and fulfill all of my hopes and dreams? You don't say. Please excuse me. I don't want to miss this.
Hey, you jerk! I'm gonna wreck this place.
Ah! $25 for this piece of crap?
It's made with real...
Where is
Ouch!
my
Hey!
father's
Ow!
brain?
Please?
It's a plush toy, little prince.
It's made with real metal in the briefcase.
Come over here.
Help. Ow!
Look.
What?
No, not that one. This one.
And now we've got all the pieces. But things aren't gonna resolve, so we're nice and clean. I might want to take off Glass Cannon because it's not gonna help me. Not gonna help me at all from this point forward, as far as I remember.
Were you children just inside the mind of the Grand Head of the Psychonauts?
No.
Darling, we saw you come out.
That's an incredible security violation.
Listen, that's the mole.
Kid, you're way behind. The mole is Nick from the mailroom. Sasha just figured it out. But I always had my suspicions.
Why, there he is, over there.
No, that's the Zazarovich of Grulovia. Or at least his body. His mind is in my dad's head. Ugh, we don't have time for this. Let's go get my dad's brain. Out of my way.
Did she just say...
Gah! I think we should get out of here.
Little Zazarovich, have you come to pay for your father's sins?
Yes, High Priestess. I am here to correct the mistakes made by my father. I am Gristal Malek, son of Tsar Theodore, rightful ruler of Grulovia and servant of Maligula.
Lucy, this isn't you. We can fight this together.
for? You're here too? This is awkward. Ah, there's too many people here. Too much baggage. Need to push it all away.
Lily, wait! I'm gonna need some help.
Yeah. That is the important thing, is to know when to ask for help. But yeah, well, again, you know, everybody else showing up didn't really help when they were already several steps behind on information. Then again, everything went to hell before they could really do anything anyway, so. Yeah. So. Here we go.
Is Maligula doing that? Of course she's doing that.
Ah!
Phew!
Yeah, see, I can touch the water just fine. I just can't touch those tornadoes. Which is weird, to say the least. Come on, let me up and over. I'm just gonna have to do that. Oh yeah, I'm probably not taking the way it wants me to. Ow! I'm not. Oh, Bramble.
But our quality never will.
Nona, that could have killed me.
2 pins for that special projection in your life.
Okay, let's see if I can get anything that's useful. Oh! Muffle it. Don't care. Retro. Use with the wind. Explosion confetti upon death. That's something. Serious. What does this one do? Yeah, cannonball. That's something. I don't need it. I gotta be doing. Not gonna be using that. What can I use? I mean, I can get the more titanium and the discount, but again, we're at the end of the game. I don't need it. Slow. You already got that? These enemies. I can get more immune to it. You know what? Let's take this pen. Yeah, I don't need the sun helps me in no ways. I don't need the chain gang. Let's take the one that was Death Explode though. And yeah, that'll be good. That's all I need. Let's combine. See what I can get 2 more. No, one more. Get up to rank 69, and we'll call
use your
that good.
purchases responsibly. Visit your friendly local automatic. Fresh new items await.
I hope my family is still at the camp.
Your father had a rough night. He's been remembering things.
I lost her, Rasputin.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta be there for family. And that's... yeah. That is a lot of this. So... anyway, we're moving into the finale here. So... yeah. Yeah. More staring at goats. Which, yeah. While we wait for the load, here we go.
Oh no.
You know what we have to do.
Mio caro. No tears, my love. It's showtime. Time for the devil's fire hose. Quippy, on the bottom. Now, Rasputin, up top you go.
But what about all that water?
The curse isn't real, Dad. It's just something Ford put in our minds to keep us safe.
Sure about that?
Of course he's not sure. But what choice does he have?
You ready, Raz?
No, so do it quick.
Alley-oop! Say hi to Nona for me! Tell her to knock it off!
Here we go. You know, it's always one of those things where it's just like how long you spend in someone's mind, how much time passes in the physical world. You know, they never really clarify that. Because, I mean, definitely time has passed. Things are changing between both, but it's hard to know exactly how much happens. Because there's definitely a time difference there. You know, Raz swam pretty well for someone who's never swam before due to staying away from the water. Anyway, I'm going to change out my pins. So we're going to take off glass cannon. And I'm going to put on sensory overload to maximize damage on sensors. Now, the reason I do that is because...
That's right, and there's more where that came from.
Now, the reason I do that, though, is because the fight coming up, there's nothing doing more damage is going to speed it up. It's just going to, I just have to survive out. There's a bunch of time. It's checkpoints and dealing with time and stuff, so.
Well,
anyway.
This is Cherry. My grandparents were part of the protests in Grulovia after the war. It didn't end well. Yep.
Creepy looking lights.
Here's a scene I was hoping not to see again. Grandma Morona. My real Grandma Morona. And my dad's father, Lazarus. Nice to see them alive, actually.
So, very much traumatic sequence.
You're in the way, Maligulugly. Maligulugly. Malugly. Yeah, I gotta practice that before I meet her for real.
Okay, I'm gonna need pyro.
Ooh. I'm gonna pay for that later.
And here we go. Well, not quite.
Nona? Oh, hi. I'm Raz. I'm your great-nephew. I mean, not that I think I'm great or anything. Just that you're my grandma's sister. And I'm here to talk you out of being evil because, you know, you're still family and all.
Family? All I see is another unruly Grulovian peasant.
Half Grulovian.
Another bit of trash I need to wash from the streets.
Oh boy.
Why are you hitting yourself, huh? Stop hitting yourself.
Ha! Good one, Sam.
Two of you are no more threat than one. In my time, I have vanquished entire armies.
Ding dong! Wheelogram! I'd like you to meet Mental Esmeralda. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I guess that explains how she got him. Yeah.
Careful, children. Oh, I fear a storm is coming. I am the deluge of Grolovia.
No.
Let the streets be cleansed forever.
So I need to put on. I need to put on time bubble.
You're just an overgrown lust for violence and destruction. Okay, that sounded scarier than I wanted it to. But you're actually a normal part of any human mind.
Ah, damn it.
Where are you?
You shouldn't be.
Ow! Come on. Yeah, I think I've stopped doing damage, so we just have to wait for the phase change. Ah, come on.
What dares block my flow?
I don't know, lady. Have you tried eating prunes?
The problem is she's all twisted up in knots. I got something that'll help you. Unwind!
Ooh, that looks painful.
It's okay. I have another one.
Back to your quilts, weakling.
Hey, that little old lady's inside her.
Now that you've seen that, I'm afraid I can't let you leave.
Simmons, run!
Yep. And there's a lot of me shutting up for this stuff.
Listen, you're a natural part of the fight-or-flight complex, but you're supposed to be smaller. Stay down in the primitive plane until needed.
I am the deluge of Grulovia! Feed my child. This is my
Oh, come on.
not the aberration which is so.
Damn it. Oh, are we at the next phase bit? No, we're not. Yeah, there's a whole... Come on. Oh! Ow! Need to do that.
Cyclops are good. And good for you.
Oh, come on. There we go. That's good. I am screwing this up.
You heard the Lady Rasputin. Let's get you away from that water.
Sorry, I thought you were the mole, Raz. Let me make it up to you. Ooh, she looks steamed.
Go! Take his breath.
Oh, come on. Need this. Need this.
Oh.
Woody! There's something I have to tell you. I killed my...
Enough!
Isu! Norma! Are you... Nona, if you can hear me, this thing is not your fault. Lord's experiments opened the door and let it out of the lower brain. The Tsar and his war made it grow.
This has gone long enough!
Never underestimate the power of pirate radio!
Norma came to me, upset about some terrible mistake she had made. So we put the word out on KLOB, and guess what? People were listening! At least one of them. And they told the others.
Thanks, Morris.
You owe me an exclusive on-air interview for this, okay?
You got it, buddy.
Marona wasn't supposed to be there. Lazarus shouldn't have brought her. He killed my sister.
No, that's not quite right.
No, that's not quite right.
Woody, listen.
I killed my sister. I might not be your real grandmother, I killed my sister.
But you're still my family.
But so what? Eh? I kill lots of people.
The only thing I can offer now is everything I've got.
But there's always room for one more!
Oh, I wish I had made you bigger. It's okay, Nona. Look behind her. My Crowley dug his little hole after all. Yep, and we're gonna fill it. Kick her into the pit!
Here we go!
I taught you children how to take a punch! That's what I am talking about!
Come on, nope. Gonna get knocked back here. Fire breath him. And then I throw 1, 2, 3. Done.
Nona!
You can't get rid of me! I'm a part of her!
Big deal. Everybody's got something like you. We just know how to keep it where it belongs. Nona! Nona!
Raz! Do you have a funnel?
Yep. This is the funnel, putting people's brains back in the bodies. Still, again, lots of things here. This is very much a... Yeah, no, even with Maligula/Nona, you were helping her overcome her problem. You weren't there to change things and deal with it yourself. You were there to help her. And that's very much an interesting thing. And it's like, yeah, you're here to help people with their problems, their traumas, and all that stuff. To help them. Not to change them, but to help them overcome it. You're there to help, not force it, you know? Even though sometimes mistakes were made in forcing it. But in the eventually trying to fix it, things can become better. It's a lot of what I love about this game. And how there's message of mental health and all that stuff. Anyway.
So that's it? Maligula gets to live out in Green Needle Gulch with Ford as if she didn't just try to kill people? Hey, it was different when I did it. There was a monster. And then... and now... I think she deserves a second chance.
And I think I deserve a vacation. My brain's been through a lot.
Oh, no you don't. I've kept this place afloat during your little nap, and now I'm taking 2 of the 17 weeks of vacation I've saved up to lie in a beach where none of you can find me. Right after we take care of some important Psychonauts business. Well, are you coming or not?
Now that's leadership.
Despite my best efforts, you interns have seen some really inappropriate things. But I think you've also learned a truth that every Psychonaut should know. That there are flaws in our most venerated institutions, in our heroes, and in ourselves. We all make mistakes, and we all need help sometimes. But we all deserve a second chance. You've seen us at our worst, and we've seen you at your best. And I'm proud to say, you have all graduated from the intern program.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about!
You are all now officially Junior Agents of the Psychonauts.
Junior?
I'll take it.
Yep. Technically, it's a step down from what he was promised at the end of Psychonauts 1, but after all that, it's definitely official, so... Anyway, that's kind of the end of the game. It lets you wander around after this whole thing to go see, talk to people, do things, and they kind of change where, prior to this, as well, whenever you land in water, the hand grabs you after 3 hits. Well, now it doesn't do that anymore. You actually balance on it, and it's like, oh, no, you're fine. You know, the whole hydrokinesis, it's not a thing that's hurting you anymore. It's not that, because you were never cursed. It was just what you were told to come back. It's very much a thing that is just, fascinating. Like, it's a nice little change in a lot of things. But there's a lot of people you can go talk around, get a little bit more lore, get some fun dialogue. And you know, it's one of those things. It is very much like there really went another way to balance a lot of these. Hey, let's have some silly stuff and serious stuff. They do a great job of balancing this stuff. I love this game so much for what it tries to do. And how it handles a lot of these things. But there's always still those things where it's just like, oh yeah, that went way over Raz's head. But at other times he zeroes in right in the heart of the issue. It's kind of great. Still, it's kind of interesting that this game, you go through every single one of the Psychic 6 except Autumn. You don't do anything with Autumn and Talon. But you do end up going through every single one of them. And, help them deal with their issues. It's a thing. And, the fact that they went through the whole, hey, you're not here to change people's minds. You're not to bend them to your will. You're to help them with the issue. And it's really it's not to say, you really did a lot of that in the first game. It changed what you did. But, in the first game, everyone was... You were either learning from one of the one of the actual Psychonauts' brains, learning powers and abilities, or you're dealing with people who were very mentally unstable or insane. Like people that were actually in an insane asylum. And then also a fish brain, which is very much a different thing. So, but like a lot of those were very different. It's very much a different style between the two. And again, a lot of what you did in Psychonauts 1 was like things you had to do. You didn't really have you had no other options at the time. Even being the fledgling that you were. I guess that is to be said, that, I guess hydrokinesis might be his personal specialty. Even though he's never trained it or anything. It would make sense. But, he certainly has he certainly learned to use a lot of things as a varied ability. It's kind of interesting, because you notice everyone else seems to have a trained specialty. That's what they do. You even see that with the Psychic 6 and all that.
Lost alone.
Ooh, this song.
Neither skin nor bone. Just a thought is all I've got. Now my cover's blown. At the bottom of a lake of frozen feeling. When my friends pulled me back up, I started healing. Now I can feel out the galaxy and hear the flow of time. Been so tense, but now I sense a reason to this rhyme. Oh, I can smell the universe, and I can taste the sky, and I can see each molecule through my cosmic eye. Senses are the magic keys. They fill the holes I've had, unlocking all my memories, which I never oh, I can feel out the galaxy and hear the flow of time. Been so tense, but now I sense a reason to this rhyme. And I can smell the universe, and I can taste the sky. I can see each molecule through my cosmic eye. I can feel out the galaxy and hear the flow of time. Been so tense, but now I sense a reason to this rhyme. I can smell the universe, and I can taste the sky, and I can see each molecule. Senses are the magic keys. They fill the holes I've had, unlocking all my memories, which are never bad.
So yeah, that song was sung by Jack Black, which phenomenal work. Again, the voice cast in this did a great job. And they got some, you know, really, you know, high-profile voice actors too for some of this. And I think they managed to get everyone back from the original. I'm not 100% on that, but it certainly sounds very similar between the two. Because I mean, there's a huge time. There's like a 10-year time gap at least. I forget the exact distance. It might even be 15. It's like 2006 maybe. I don't rightly remember. I could look it up, but I'm not that invested in it. But yeah, like you know, to be able to sound on point on so many returning characters, it's quite amazing in my opinion. But yeah, everyone did such a great job in this. Managed to sell things. Even the whole like, hey, even with the Nick Johnsmith, where it's like, yeah, he's definitely not in, you know, on beat and on key with all of the singing in that. That very much was most definitely intentional. Like, it was very much like, yeah, this is not all lining up. This is not, you know, not as it should be. It's a little warped and messed up, and it was certainly driving that home with just the world storytelling. And that's another thing that's kind of different. Like, in Psychonauts 1, each world, like mental world, was kind of its own thing. And they didn't necessarily lead into each other so much. Whereas in this game, each one is kind of pieces of a whole. They're all giving you pieces of the whole story here. You know, all of them kind of lead into and bring together into this grand scheme of things. And I really enjoyed that storytelling for it. Even if a lot of it is, no, you've seen this, but now you're seeing this in a different way. And it's like, you know, I don't need to see this a different way, but it's like, no, this is kind of important. Like even with Crystal Malik, it's like, yeah, all of these are very warped, you know, versions of what you've been told. This is why he's come to these misguided, you know, conclusions. But, yeah. And then, you know, a whole lot of just things like that. It's kind of interesting to look at in that way. Because, you know, sorry, my train of thought just left me. But, okay, fine. So, it's kind of interesting that every single part of this is just a piece of the greater whole, as opposed to, hey, I made this fun level. And it works in Psychonauts 1, where each world was its own story, and you kind of worked through that, which was also very indicative of its time. But this is just like, everything is a piece that all builds into and leads into the greater arc here. Which, like, it's great because it's kind of like what works in this, because it's not like you're developing out who Raz is. Raz is already pretty established from Psychonauts 1, and even through this, they don't have to really reintroduce a lot of it. You kind of get, they do a good job of re-keeping you up to it with osmosis. Of just like, hey, this is how Raz ends in the story, this is who he is, what he does, and you kind of learn through that. Whereas in 1, it's just like you're kind of feeling that out through across a lot of those worlds. So it's very much a different thing. And I will say, the other kind of nice thing they did is, like, the first time you load up the game, and I probably could load that up again, but it's, there's a previously on Psychonauts section that basically goes, hey, here's what happened in Psychonauts 1. Here's a quick refresher on Rhombus of Ruin. Like, here's a quick, you know, brief overview of Rhombus of Ruin, I think, in that. And then it just, you know, jumps into it. Like, jumps into that whole loadout. Like, lead into it. It's an experience. So, yeah. But this is one of those games that I love playing through. Like, I had a blast playing through it. I 100%ed this when I was playing it, like, my first time. I don't think it's the most entertaining thing to do on stream, because, again, tracking down every single figment is a pain. tracking down all the mental realms to do like all the things in the physical world to track all the scavenger hunt items, all that stuff. That's also kind of, it's a lot of, you know, digging into small obscure areas and puzzle solving. And it was also a thing in Psychonauts 1, so don't say I'm like, it's a terrible thing, but it's not the most entertaining thing to watch. It's just a lot of me smacking my head into a wall for several hours, and I just don't. I don't think that's the best use of my time. Not for something I've done before, not for something that doesn't have a ton of payout. You know? And it's one of those things where I'm just like, I don't feel the reward is that great. Because it's just like, hey, you now have uncapped uses of your psi powers. You cannot, but at that point, you're not fighting anything. You can't go back and refight Maligula, as far as I know. Like, that's not a revisit you can do. You can't redo any of the bosses. It's just like, okay, this doesn't help me. There's not that many fights. I don't think there's any really fights you can find either. Like, you can find some random small encounters, but like, having infinite power usage doesn't really play a lot. If I could do Game Plus with that stuff, then sure. I'd love it. But, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff of just interacting in the world. Like, I would have loved to be able to use the classic outfit just throughout the rest of the game. Not that the new outfit's bad. It's pretty nice, too. But it's just sometimes you're like, hey, I kind of want to try it out. Like, I kind of want to just keep the old Psychonaut 1 vibe with it, you know? And it really gets into crazy how many people backed it. I mean, it's not surprising. Like, Psychonauts 1 is well beloved. Like, I think it's a fun game. Like, I'm not talking shit about it. It's a fun game to play. It's a bit dated now, because it's an old game. It's like 2006 or something. But it's a fun game. And like, even looking at this game, there's a lot of things that look back to the original and like, hey, could we make this better? Can we not have these certain exploits and, you know, change how some things work? Because there was a levitation glitch in the first game that could do stuff. And they did everything to patch it out, though it's still not. There's still some weird physics bugs and stuff. Oh, which that might be a fun little thing to show off, because there is the flight glitch that I don't think they patched out. Yeah. So we've got a long list to just stick through. And I'm just, again, I don't want to skip the credits here. Like, a lot of people worked on this, a lot of people contributed to it. And, you know, I think it's important to appreciate all the work that goes into making a game like this. I sometimes skip it. Like, I think when I was doing RE4, I skipped it. I skipped it one of the times. I was just like, no point. But in something like this, where I'm doing it more casually, I think it's important to appreciate all of this. Like, again, there's a lot of support staff, a lot of people, not just the programmers, you know, voice actors, all that stuff. It takes so many people to make a game like this. And always, you know, so it's not just like a couple of people. Yeah, a couple of people can ruin a game. That is absolutely the case. And usually it's production, like production management, that kind of thing. By that I mean, like, you know, heads of companies like EA and stuff, who were just trying to push out a game, not caring about the quality of the product, caring about the profit. And it doesn't always make a fun game. But again, there's a couple of companies I'd be all like, yeah, I'd point to as they do that. And like, some of course have been better at times, and some have been worse. And it's not the programmer's fault. It's not, you know, most of the people working on the game. It's sometimes just the management on it that goes, no, this needs to come out. I don't care if there's all of these issues. We're releasing. And yeah, sometimes you have issues where it's like, sometimes you have games like No Man's Sky where it's like, wow, this is not what I wanted on release, you know? Or you have things like, apparently Gollum, Lord of the Rings Gollum, where that has just been, bad. It's been buggy. It apparently crashes if you leave it on the street, like, all it causes issues if you leave it, like, on the start screen for too long. It can crash quickly into the game. Apparently they put out a bunch of DLC, like, plans that are just, like, kind of ridiculous from what I heard, and I was just like, that ain't right. But you see, like, normally a lot of these things, when a game comes out and it's not good, you know, it's a quick cash grab kind of thing, it's gonna flop, and then, you know, the sad thing is that it's not, that even if the programmers, like, they could have done a better job if they had the time, resources, it's just like, it's not, they're the ones who get punished, not the people who actually made the poor decisions. So, it's kind of a weird thing. And, yeah, it is what it is. Like, there's a difference in just, like, in that, oh man, I'm rambling. I am rambling, and it's fine. Just, yeah. So many people, like, contributed to this Kickstarter. Sorry, I think we're still on that. Just, like, it makes these credits so long. I wouldn't fault people for tuning out or anything during these, but, oh, you know, I'm just gonna keep talking though. So, yeah, kinda, I was just like, you know, some people could take offense to some of these stuff, so I just kinda let my, I just kinda ramble. Also, you know, if I keep talking, then I'll just I'll dry out my throat and then need to get a drink of water, which, yeah, I think it's important for me to stay hydrated, but, oh, yep. Enjoying all the music in the game. I guess they really kind of had to I had to tie in everything here because of how long it is. But again, everyone deserves credit. We're not in the old age where it's just like, hey, we're going to put people's names in the credits, but we're not going to put your actual name. We're going to put in, you know, kind of a pen name or like nickname kind of thing. Because we don't want you to get poached by some other company. Which was the thing, like, NES, SNES era. I think, yeah, I forget exactly when they stopped doing it, but, you know, the whole reason for that was just like, yeah, we don't want people to hire off our staff, and I think they've gotten better, but I think part of it is they realized it wasn't working as well as they thought it was, because, you know, even with NDAs and all sorts of things, it's one of those, like, yeah, you can kind of piece things together and figure it out. So, you know, it's just weirdly fascinating on a lot of things like that. To look at the history of such things. Yeah. Yeah, the history of gaming is fascinating. Yeah, like I said, but I don't think it's got enough time and place to get into it. I will say, Double Fine is interesting as a company, because Schaefer and all that, just, Tim Schaefer and all of the, getting a bunch of old people, like old, you know, who worked on, what was it, Monkey Island stuff? And then, I forget. But it was basically a lot of, you know, Monkey Island was one of these worked on, you know, got a bunch of people, you know, old people that knew, like, from old projects and former studio, which, yeah. Like, they make some stuff, and then there's some stuff where it's just like, it didn't come out well. Like Broken Age. Broken Age is very much a project that, they're like, oh, we're gonna make a fun little adventure game, and then, got way overfunded. And then when they blew that up to scale, it did not really meet the hype for that it was. Like, it kind of outscaled itself, but it didn't. Like, especially because they had to break it into 2 parts, and it's just, I don't know. it's not. It's a weird game, to say the least, and I don't think it felt the best. But it's one of the things where I'm just like, yeah, that was where Double Fine kind of didn't do a great job. But then you also have one of their most interesting projects, which is Brutal Legend. Like, there's a whole documentary I think they did on that. And that game is fascinating. It's amazing because they got a bunch of awesome metal tricks. But there's a story that, like, when they were trying, like, and look at it. There's a story that when they pitched that to a bunch of studios to get funded for it, they're like, notably, they were basically told, "Hey, could we do that?" And like, this is an interesting idea, but could you do this with country? This is all that, and it's just like, no, that could not work. You don't understand the principles and the themes and so many things about that. It's just like, you don't understand any of this iconography, and you're just trying to go, hey, lots of people like country. Maybe we can make money off that, and not thinking about the project. And like, it's sad to me that that was even a thought to someone in charge of that. Like, they'd be in charge of this, deciding whether something was right, and not understanding the first thing about why it has to be what it has to be. But I guess there's a part of me as a programmer that goes, hey, you have to understand the project, what the limitations are, what all the rules are in play. You can't just go, hey, this would be a cool thing to do. It's like, do you have any idea how you go about doing that? You know, how much would have to change to fit that? You know? But yeah, so that was part of the reason why Brutal Legend was having so much trouble with coming out. And, yeah, like, it's very evident, like, even looking at the game, there's a lot of stuff they planned to do with it, but they didn't quite get there. Like, because, Brutal Legend, like, it's, if you played through the game, there's some parts of it that feel odd, but, like, the end specifically, it feels a little rushed. Like they were intending to have a whole another act with the Drowning Doom. Oh, well, I was done. Sorry. With God, I forget what his name. What's his name is? Diviculus? Yeah, Diviculus's faction. Like, because it's like, hey, we're gonna do like each section of the world was kind of like, hey, we're gonna deal with this faction and then this faction, and then it's like, because you deal with Lion White in the first act. Then you deal with the Drowning Doom in the second act, and then, like, pretty much after that, it just goes into, no, you're fighting Diviculus. It's like, what? Like, you have, like, 1 or 2 missions against Diviculus's forces at that point. Which is so weird, because they're such a built-out force for the multiplayer. But, like, the story just kind of rushes to that conclusion, and it's like, oh, okay. So, I don't know. It's very clear they wanted to do more, build out more, but I think they just kind of ran out of time. Which, considering the troubled development, I get. And even with what they did, it's still a great ride, great story. Amazing music, which I am, like, 100% positive I could never stream or anything. Because, yeah, it's all copyrighted. Owned by the bands, and as much as the game has the rights, streaming's a whole different thing. And and again, music companies, like record labels, they're very litigious about it. And again, some of that is an automated system, and it's a whole thing. And it's all like, oh, piracy's such a terrible thing. And it's like, well, the funny thing is, in regards to games and so many things, piracy is not a problem. It's fascinating, actually. Because it turns out, most people want to support things they like. If, in terms of piracy, there's like 3 types of piracy. There's the, I wasn't going to pay for this anyway. Like, there's the, hey, I kind of wanted to try it out. Which, I wanted to try it out before I buy it. And, if I liked it, yeah, I want to support this. And the third type, which is, I don't have money right now, but I still want to play this game. I want to see what it's about. And then when I do, I will, and like, you don't get fans by not letting people play the game. That's just not how, it's not how it works. Granted, there are some series and stuff to build fans. People have never even played the game it's based on. And some of that is like, I would say, kind of applies to like Toho and some of the phone games, like where it's just like, oh, we built all this interesting characters and cast. It's like, yeah, and then people see all these characters and then they just never interact with the original, media of it. And like, yeah, that works in that regard, but it's like that's kind of an outlier. Most of the time, it's like, no, you got to interact with the original to do that. And so, like, again, for that first group where it's just like, yeah, they weren't going to pick it up anyway, you're not losing money there, technically, because they weren't going to buy it anyway. With the second and third group, it's just like, yeah, you're not getting a full retention on everyone pirating on the second group. But those that do, you're getting money that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten, because they probably wouldn't have spent it. They wanted to try it before they buy it, and they weren't going to spend money on it before that anyway. So that's extra money in your pocket. And then the third group, where it's just like they can't buy it right now, well, they will eventually later, especially as they come to fall in love with and enjoy the game, like enjoy the product. It's one of those things where, yeah, piracy will definitely cheat you out of a shit ton of money if you're putting out a shitty product. But if you're putting out a project that is made with love and, passion, so many things to make a fun and engaging product, then, yeah, people are going to flock to it. People are going to enjoy it. Now, I can't say if it'll always be profitable, but, again, a game where people are passionate about, or people really, the love and passion come through, are going to always be more fun than something where it's just like, oh, we just made this for a quick profit or a quick buck. I can even see this in like, hey, even with indie dev, it's just like, yes, they care and they really love this. Now, that doesn't always mean it's going to be great. There's many times where I've seen like, hey, you really enjoy and love this, but there's some fundamental flaws in how you've built this or how you've designed this that I don't think are particularly fun. And even that, sometimes that passion is backfire, and then it's like, you're not playing, like, you can see that with like, even with Nintendo, where it's like, you're not doing this the way we want you to do this. Because Nintendo is very anti-emulator, like, challenge runs in so many ways, and like the Nuzlocke and all that. So, but they're very passionate about the games they make, and that's why they're fun. But it's also very much a creators kind of at odds with their fan base in certain ways. Like, most of the time, Nintendo's fine, but they are very litigious at times, too. So, which, yeah, is not the best thing. But, at the same time, you gotta protect your brand and your copyright, so I can understand where they're coming from. And, like, yeah, like sometimes it sucks when they butt heads and they go, hey, you can't do this, but it's what it is. They do make products that people enjoy and love. It doesn't mean they're perfect. That like everything they make is gonna be perfect. It doesn't mean everything can be. Doesn't mean that. It certainly won't. You can find flaws in so many of the things, but they came from a point of, hey, we want to make this fun. And I always respect, let's make a game fun, not make this something, hard. Like something that's just there to punish. I don't know, it's the design I like. But I think that's enough of me rambling. We've gotten to the credits. We've seen the thank you for playing. And, yeah. We could probably wrap up the stream pretty soon. I think what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to go talk to some people. When I go around, talk to some people around the Motherlobe, get a little bit of closure on some stories. Get a little bit of context, and then we'll call it a stream. I think what I'm going to be doing for my next more long series is I'm going to do more of a New Game Plus run of Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I know I graduated the intern program and all, but I'll bet if I snuck in a little extra credit work, that would really irritate Norma.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Excuse me, Agent Forsyth?
Yes, Rasputin?
I just wanted to apologize.
No. I thought we agreed not to talk about that again.
We did?
Listen, in the end, I was the adult in the room. You were the child. I take full responsibility. And the whole thing is just so embarrassing, so let's just move the mission log to the classified file, okay?
What are you doing out here?
Well, just relaxing, waiting for my flight to the tropics. I'm off the clock, but I'm happy to answer any non-work-related questions.
Where will you go on your vacation?
Oh, well, Agents 9 and Vodella were nice enough to give me this all-expense-paid tropical vacation. Look.
That thing's real?
Well, it better be. That prescription sunblock I bought wasn't cheap.
That's an interesting thing back. That's what you call back to the beginning of the game. I don't remember that.
So, what will you do with Crystal Malik?
Well, we don't want any publicity about it, or we'd have to give up Lucretia. So we'll probably just keep Malik here. Maybe give him to Agent 9 for experiments.
Experiments? You're going to experiment on Crystal?
Heavens no! That's terrible. Why would you say such a thing?
You said...
I said we'd give him to Sasha for therapy.
But...
No one likes an argumentative preteen, Rasputin.
Will you miss being the acting head of the Psychonauts?
Not a bit. In fact, my main goal now is to convince Truman to put off retirement as long as I can. He's been threatening me with the title of Grand Head for years. But I do not need the grief.
Do you want Ford to come back and work at headquarters?
Absolutely. Nobody gets my hair like Agent Cruller.
What will you do with Lucretia?
I'd like to keep her under observation.
What about the government? The Grulovian secret police?
Please, this is Psychonauts business.
I'll bet you're happy my family is leaving soon.
Actually, I've invited them to stay.
What?
I see a lot of potential in that sister of yours, and your little brother, and even your father.
Are you going to make my family into Psychonauts?
Well, we should at least teach them psycho-safety. Can't have them running loose, leaving a trail of burning pine cones behind them.
Well, have fun on vacation.
Thanks, Rasputin. If I see an octopus while snorkeling, I'll think of you. Right before I shoot it with my spear gun.
Ooh, fancy.
Yep. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think some people. I don't remember where everyone is, but I'm going to try and find some people.
I hope my family didn't cause too much trouble.
You're lucky my family never comes to visit me. Ever.
Scanning access granted.
Oh, right. There's also some things that change back up here. Since now that the secret history of the Psychic 6 is out, well, technically the Psychic 7, so as much as they're like, yeah, we're not gonna release any of that information, it's like, okay, we're gonna change some things in headquarters. But that's Psychonauts business. Especially because, yeah, you can't get access to this place without, being a Psychonaut. So, I guess it's fine. But at the same time, yeah, it's not, it's important to accept the past for what the past is. So. Yep. And again, I'm certainly not going to exhaustively go through every conversation option and all that stuff. Yeah, so that mural back there, I think they changed it. Yeah, they had. They changed it. Can I?
Ford Cruller. I mean, I might not even exist if you hadn't done what you did. Maybe I'll figure it out later, when I'm not dead. Otto Mentalis, the only one of the Psychic Seven whose mind I didn't get to visit. Maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe. Won't let me look at the addition to the wall, but it's fine.
Compton, with what I learned from you, I might be able to help your grandson Dogan. Or at least help out the squirrels back in camp. Bob's still grumpy, but I'm glad he got off that island. I'm so happy Helmet's alive. I hope they find his body someday. I hope Cassie keeps the legend of the Green Needle Witch alive. They need something to scare the new interns with.
Yep. Let's see. I don't think. Yep. I think it's just Carol. Well, I guess they didn't.
Come back to the automatic. Many new items in stock.
Now that Truman's back, definitely going to be layoffs.
Wait, I thought you said Hollis was the problem.
No way! She was the only one keeping this place together.
I think she's secretly been running this place for years.
Ever wonder if you guys could make layoffs happen by thinking about it too much?
Oh my god.
No way.
If that were possible, then I'd be married to Lori by now.
Aww.
It was a disaster, I'm telling you. Complete disaster.
Well, you must not have folded in the eggs.
I did. Wait. What's folding in mean again?
It's a flipping motion with your wrist that creates a multi-layered structure in the egg, like the layers of steel in a samurai sword.
Right, yeah. Samurai sword. Yeah, I did that.
You guys talking about cooking? Because I have been doing some high-stakes cooking lately.
Sorry, kid. This is a secret code. We are talking about a mission.
Actually, I thought we were talking about cooking. Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot of little dialogue things around to find around Psychonauts HQ. It's pretty great. Like I said, so many voice actors did such a great job with a lot of this.
I'm so glad nothing happened to Agent 33.
Well, she did lose a lot of money.
Yeah, but what do you expect at the Luctopus? That place is rigged.
Right, they did change a lot of these things, so if you look into history of the Psychonauts and all that stuff, you can get the full picture now, but I'm not going to do it because it's a lot of slow menuing and not the most interesting thing.
Hey, Coach. Really getting some use out of that swimming tail.
Just doing some research for the amphibious assault capabilities of my Deathbot.
Yeah. Coach being Coach. AKA weird. So, again, not here. Yeah. Mila is not here. Huh?
Dr. Lobato, where do you think you're going?
The green man told me to wait in the brain bumbler.
That's not the brain tumbler.
Oh, I guess I'm escaping then. Bye! Please don't tell. You know I'm a reformed man. You were there. You saw me. Plus, I need to get back to camp. I left my kid there.
Wait, what?
Which, is that implying that he is related to someone at camp? Which, I guess it would. I don't know. Maybe Bobby Zilch? Who knows? Like, that's just based off of, they seem to have a similar, there's some resemblance there, but it could entirely be a coincidence. Who knows?
Yep.
Then again, like, could be a different camp. Could just be, yeah, it could just be again a weird coincidence. So.
Hey, you! Got some fresh stuff over here. Brand new.
So yeah. Come on.
Hi, Lizzie. Norma.
Look, Call me a snitch.
Snitch?
But after all was said and done, it ended up helping, didn't it?
No. It interrupted my work with Ford, provoked Maligula, and almost drowned everybody.
You should feel lucky, Raz. She's been helping me my whole life.
So, you know. Again, interfering in things you don't understand. Causing problems. So, you know.
Visit your friendly local automatic. Fresh new items.
Also, I guess that kind of implies they're sisters. Didn't really kind of. Their sisters are. They just know their wives. It's kind of like it's up in the air. It's a little unclear, but yeah, they've been around for a while. So yeah, not a lot that I can really go on, but yeah. Anyway, now that we're out of senior hours.
Hi, you're doing great tonight. How's that elbow?
Great. That old guy who was working here said my ball was too heavy, so I swapped it out, and it's like I got a new elbow.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I guess we'll never know.
You know.
So it turns out Sherry had my label maker the whole time. Really? Your own wife? Yeah, well, actually, I only bought that thing to add a little spice back into our marriage. A label maker can do that? If you know how to use it, it can. Oh, yes.
Okay. That's an odd one to say the least. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, Ford can teleport, so if he wanted to, he could probably be back here.
Hey, can I get a drink?
What, are you kidding?
Anyway.
Agent 9, Vodello.
Oh, hello, fellow Psychonauts.
Yes, that's right, Agent Aquato.
I like the sound of that. Agent Aquato.
This is the greatest moment of my life. Are you both hanging around here or going back to camp?
Well, I did leave my car there.
And there's a new batch of children coming in a week.
There's more kids coming to Whispering Rock this summer?
Of course.
Whispering Rock is one of the main revenue makers for the Psychonauts these days.
What's going to happen to Crystal Malik?
I need to run some experiments on him.
You mean tests, Sasha?
Oh, yes. Therapeutic test. Mostly harmless.
Mostly.
Remember the time we fought off those brain tanks? That was cool.
Oh, that feels like 20 years ago.
That reminds me, I need to get back to my lab. Lobato should be waking up any moment.
You left Dr. Lobato tied up in your lab?
Not tied up. I just used the brain tumbler to sedate him.
Wow, that thing can do anything. See you next mission.
Get some rest, young man.
And thank you for all your help, darling.
Yep. I guess it was 20 years, so that would have been, 2001. Yeah, I've been saying 2006 this whole time, really. Well, like 2 or 3 times, but still. I'm an idiot sometimes. Let's go. Yeah, let's check the mailroom. I guess that's it. I don't know who's in. I don't know who's in.
So are you the head mail clerk now?
What? Is that what you heard? Is there talk? Imagine me replacing not just Ford Cruller, but also filling the shoes of Nick Johnsmith.
You know, being able to move that around safely is probably pretty efficient.
I know you turned out to be evil, Nick, but you kept the mail sorted.
You know, that's saying something. Like, Nick was a very good people person, despite being evil. Brought a lot of people to like him. But then you have to wonder, was that just him that he used to infiltrate, like that persona, or was... It's a weirdly fascinating, like, rabbit hole to go down.
Granted.
So.
Hey, it's Bob over there. Oh, and Helmet's brain. Sensing some stray thoughts around. What are you two up to?
We're planning our mission to rescue Helmet's body in Grulovia.
And after that, we're gonna buy a treadmill and rescue Bobby's body.
How are you gonna find Helmet's body? Ford and Otto tried for so long.
They didn't have Helmut to help.
Yeah, and I should be able to sense my body's location better than they could.
And we won't give up until we find it.
It'll be like a second honeymoon.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find the typewriter. Which, again, ice should float, so... It's a very interesting problem to have there. That's really all I gotta... Like... Just, you know, thinking about it. Then again, I guess they've been some phantasmal properties of hyper ice, but still...
Scanning access.
One of the things
granted.
with how ice... Like, the density of ice is lower than the density of water because the crystalline structure that water makes when it freezes spreads out, like, more dense. It spreads out, and, you know, and creates space that isn't there with which isn't there in its aquatic state. So, it's one of the few things that actually kind of does that. Typically, gas, like, there's so much space. Like, typically, as something goes from a gas to liquid to solid, it becomes more dense. But that's not the case with water. Anyway.
Hey, what are you and the sandwich talking about? You two missed the rhombus? So, what a ride, eh, Harold?
Anyway. Oh, yeah. That is now another thing. In case you're wondering why the psychic plants were dying, it's because Crystal Malik's not psychic. So, yeah. Yeah, let's go find Lily. I think I want to do that. The lab's not going to help. Did I not, I guess I didn't pick that up. Oh, no, the quarry. We'll jump out to the quarry. I'm gonna go talk to the Grand Head, and, I guess we'll call it. We get a bit of closure on things. I mean, it's pretty obvious what happens with... Pretty obvious for the most part with, Cruller and Nona, or Lucretia. We've already kind of seen a bit of Compton and Cassie. And so, I guess, you know, getting that last bit of closure is that I don't know if you can find Malik around. I don't remember finding him. He's probably around somewhere. Maybe Psycho Isolation? But I think that the Zanatos are over here.
Is that straight thoughts I'm picking up?
Yeah, that'd be stray thoughts. I didn't realize they were that obvious, but I guess they are. You know, let's get some closure on Raz's stuff.
And then I was like, Dad! And you just moaned, caviar!
No!
Yes!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It wasn't you. You were locked up in a brain case far away.
Oh, if only every brainless father had a daughter like you to save him.
Oh, hi guys. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Young man, I still haven't thanked you for saving me from the rhombus of ruin. Lily told me all about it.
I merely did what any psychonaut would do.
Please don't hold against me what that twisted little man said with my tongue.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. Except when
And please don't tell me about it either. My daughter has already told me far too much.
Forget about it, Pops. It was a phase. All dads go through it.
How's the brain reintegration going?
Perfect. No side effects at all.
Porpoise Sally and 8-Ball?
Oh? You little trickster. Trying to make me think I have brain damage.
You got me.
That's only gonna be funny for a few more years. Enjoy it while you can.
I'm sorry, but I might have broken into your presidential locker on the jet.
As long as you didn't break the music box that was inside. It was my mother's.
Well, we did. But then Raz went inside of it using clairvoyance on a flea and fixed it.
What an enterprising young man.
Did you tell your dad about what happened at camp?
Raz! No!
Oh, well, now you have to tell me.
It was no big deal. Oleander was stealing children's brains and using them as weapons in armored death tanks.
Oh, is that all? Good. I thought it was something more worrying, like kissing. I've heard that happens a lot at summer camps.
Dad! Gross!
Well, I'll let you two get back to talking about me.
Bye, Raz.
Okay. So, I think with that, we will, call this a stream. And, the end to our Psychonauts playthrough. So, again, if you want to get caught up and enjoy this again or watch it again, I will upload this video to my YouTube, which is, an archive of all these things. So, which is, of course, youtube.com/proto042. This and almost everything I stream will probably be backed up there. Barring stuff that's definitely going to get copyright struck or has something weird that got caught by copyright, which is why I didn't upload DMC5 stuff. Because it copyrighted a weird thing, and I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. And so I didn't. Anyway, probably next weekend I'm going to start going through a new Game Plus of Yakuza Like a Dragon. And no, I'm going to try and stream some this week, which will probably be between, like, EDF, World of Final Fantasy, and, well, something else. I'll figure it out. But, have a good day, and I will see you when I see you.